What flavor, cutie?
Any flavor's fine.
Which one do you really want?
Oh, rainbow.
Let's make a protein shake. Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. Huh? Yeah. Best protein ever. If you're like me and you don't like the taste of protein, this is literally perfect for that. I'm gonna do 3 scoops since we're sharing it, which would be 2 scoops is 21 grams. So I'll do 3 since we're splitting it. I add some almond butter, and then I just do literally the smallest amount of Nutella just for it to taste good. I'll just use a little bit. Just a little bit. That's too much water. Perfect sizes. This will be my breakfast. You know what's so cool? When I went to the beach, I put ice in my thing. I put a lot of ice, but you know, by the time I finished my whole thing, there was still ice in it.
Really?
Yeah, and I was able to put. Remember when I said, "Oh, I just need a water bottle so I can pour it in," because there was still ice to make it cold. Like it will still be cold water, and the water was ice cold. Like I was hot, but I wasn't even that hot because I had this water. Isn't that crazy? Ice is the way. Oh.
Sponsor us, Tao.
Sponsor us. Dude, thank you for this.
Oh, you too, man.
Are these all clean or what?
Just,
Yeah, there's that.
or no, actually, that's the one fish fry. I don't know what your girl said.
There's that. Well, Matthew just texted me that his job is blocked off like by construction right now. So his boss, so the pastor and his boss told him he could go home. So he's coming back. He literally just left like 20 minutes ago and he's back. So I'm gonna go drink this. I have such a hard time drinking protein shakes. Even if I like the protein, it's just hard. I'm not like a protein shake kind of girl. I try my best to finish this because this is my breakfast and get some work done while I do that. I like to listen to music while I work. It helps me think.
What a hard day at work.
You're back already.
Kidding, I didn't have to go to work because
I told them.
our building was blocked off.
Took a shower. Now I'm back to work. Oh, you did flinch.
I can't let you go. I don't want you, bro.
Too flinching.
So soft. Such a soft face. I love it. Come on.
So today we're going to be talking about what we learned in our first year of marriage.
No.
So today we're going to be talking about what we learned in our first year of marriage.
No, it's supposed to be a chill thing.
So today we're going to be talking about what we learned in our first year of marriage. One thing that I've learned is that marriage is both very easy at times and very hard at times.
Yeah.
But that comes with living with another person. I think that marriage is a gift from God. I think you have to look at it like that, especially like when you're feeling like, upset at the other person or like mad at them. Like you have to make sure you always look at the other person like this is a gift from God, and that can sometimes bring you right back down to earth when you feel like getting upset. So that's something I've definitely learned throughout marriages. Even when we have our debates and our times where we get upset with each other, just making sure I remember you're a gift for me from God. Gift from me from God. Yeah.
Yeah. I think something too, like the biggest thing we learned was that we both come from different like homes and backgrounds and stuff, and what it means to like create our own space. You know what I mean? Like create, like kind of leave behind our own stuff and create our own thing. Because I feel like for a while that was kind of like a hard thing. It's like, oh well, I did this, and like I grew up doing this, and I grew up, and there's room for those things, but also making room for, okay, we're creating something that's both of us. You know what I mean?
From my perspective, like that's something I learned, but it wasn't something that like really bothered me like a lot or anything like that. Like it was something that, I understand we both have differences, but we have to talk about each other's differences. And when we do see each other do things from like, how, like you said, we had to create our own space in here. And creating your own space does also involve like both of us, like you do things in here that you did when you lived in your apartment.
Yeah.
I do things in here that I did when I lived with my parents
so I'm
in my
saying
house.
there's room for those things.
Yeah.
I was saying like how we handle certain things. I mean,
Yeah.
like arguing and stuff. Like we always say like I'm not like back how I used to argue at home and stuff. Like it's different.
Yeah, you can't argue with each other like how you argued with your parents or anything like that, or your siblings. Like
Right.
everyone argues differently. Some people are like very loud. Some people hold it all in, and it's like finding the balance of not yelling at each other, but like being reasonable with each other and not letting it get too emotional, and just making sure that we create our own way of handling arguments and debates. And I like the word conflict. Handling our own conflicts in our own way that we feel like works for us.
Yeah.
Rather than how you felt conflict worked for you guys and how I felt conflict worked for my family when I was living there.
I think for me was like also like kind of not reprogramming my brain, but like when you grow up like in a certain way of like conflict and stuff and like being on the defense a lot, it's different when you get married and like you're in a safe place. You're not used to that. Like I feel like I was not used to that, so it was harder for me to understand how to properly have like normal conflict.
Yeah, no, I feel like you've gotten a lot better at that though, but like definitely in the beginning, like I feel like you would think I was like attacking you, and I'm just like, what the heck? And like you'd get defensive, and I'd be like, Carly, like you could just tell me what bothers you.
Yeah.
You don't have to like you don't have to feel like I'm attacking you or anything like that. You could just be open and be honest about what bothers you. Like, I think there was one time where Carly wanted to tell me something, but she was nervous to tell me it, and it was the smallest thing ever, and she didn't want to tell me because I don't know why. I guess she felt bad or something, or she felt like I was gonna get mad at her. But this was earlier on when we got married, and then it was so simple. She was like, "Is it okay, like when you leave in the morning, to just put your plate right in the dishwasher?" And when she told me that, I had to take a moment and like, that's it. Like, that's all you had to say.
Well,
like,
it's because like when you grow up in a place where like telling somebody something results in an argument, like you almost feel scared to say like anything.
I think that's how we should handle conflict. We don't always do that at times because
Yeah.
emotions play into it. But when we're both like thinking logically and we're both like, you know, thinking for each other and not against each other, like that's how conflict should be handled. Like
Yeah.
having that soft tone and both of us being able to have that with each other, like when something bothers us, rather than letting it fester and then when we say it, it's like a meaner tone because we both had moments where we've done that. And I think, you know, we're human, we're bound to like make mistakes, but I think how you handle conflict is like that. Like, because if you had come in and been like you leave all these plates here all the time, like what's wrong with you? Like, you don't put them away. Like you can't think of putting them away. Like when you come in with that attitude, then it's like, oh, like, you know, you make the other person not even hear you. But when you come in and like that day, I remember I was so like proud because like how you said it was just like I was like, yeah, that's what I want, like in a marriage. Like that's exactly what I want. Like I just think tone is so important with how you talk to each other because everyone's different. But yeah.
Yeah, I think something else we learned also is like prioritizing our time together because I think like when you get married you can get so used to like, oh, I live with them, like I see them all the time, like that should count as like spending time with them, but it really doesn't. Like being intentional being
Being intentional and Lunchables.
being intentional. Wait, what?
Yo, Lunchables be hitting. Sorry, I haven't had one.
Being intentional about spending time with your spouse is like the most important thing. Like, I feel like in the beginning we had so many people over, and we still like hosting people. But I feel like we used to have people over a lot, and it almost just like became draining because then we'll start feeling like, oh well, we're not spending time together. Like when are we gonna plan to spend time together and like do stuff, you know? And then when we started doing that, it's like I feel like a lot of things change. And then like those times where you host people, it doesn't feel like, oh, like I wish we could hang out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it feels more like,
Because,
oh, this is also a benefit.
Yeah, because you prioritize your time when you are hosting people. You're not thinking about like, dang, we're not making any time for ourselves.
Right.
Like, because you've already prioritized the time. It's like when you host people now, it's just like, oh, it's a blessing having them over. Because I love hosting people. I love having my friends over, Carly's friends over. But I think more than that, you need to love spending time with your wife and love spending time together. Because that's, like you said, that's huge. Because when you first get married, it's like, you know, there's the understanding that now this is my wife. Like, she comes first, of course, after God. But she comes first before any of my friends. I come first before any of her friends.
And then our family and stuff.
And yeah, and that's how it works. There's the other side of it where it's like, we can't just only hang out with each other. Like, I can't do that. And you can't do that. That's not healthy. Like, we need other people. We need your family, my family, your friends, my friends, because I think that's another mistake that couples make is prioritizing too much time together that they don't have time for anyone else.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say prioritizing too much time together. I would say like not prioritizing time with other people because I feel like it's good to prioritize to have a good, healthy, like level of prioritizing time with your spouse. But if it's that without the other, then it's unhealthy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I don't think it's like too much time together. It's just, I mean, I don't know how else to word it. It's like, I need to hang out with my guy friends because at the end of the day, like, I need guys to be around because guys can understand me on a level. Girls can understand you on a level that I also can't understand just because you guys are girls, we're guys. And so I think it's balancing both. It's like not over hosting, but not under hosting.
Right.
And not even just hosting, but not over hanging out to the point that you never hang out with your friends and not only hanging out with your friends and you never hang out with your wife. I think that's something we have a good balance of now.
Yeah.
And so
I feel like we're good at that, like making sure we have time by ourselves, and if we feel like, okay, we can't go, then we just won't go. You know what I mean? Like, not feeling pressure to do everything, because, like, we only are two people, and, like, we only have so much time, so. I think also another thing is understanding roles, learning roles when you weren't brought up being taught roles, if that makes sense. Because that was the hardest thing for me, because I never really saw, like, I grew up in a home where, like, my grandma was, like, in charge of everything, and she, like, held everything down and stuff, and they're just being in a home where the man is the head of the house, and like I'm your helper, and understanding what that looks like, and where I stand in our home and stuff, and that's like the hardest thing, and we can like talk so much more about that, but that was just like something else. It's like understanding biblical roles and what they look like and what it means to serve one another. And it's like really the small things, because like I feel like it's easy to do like, oh, I'm gonna surprise my husband with this, and like I'm going to do this, but it's like kind of like the small things, like when you don't want to do, like that is something that we learned. It's like service is not just the big things and like the things that you show to other people. Oh, I did this for my husband. I did this. I did this. I did this for you. It's like the really small things when you're like remember when there's times like we'd both be sitting on the couch and you'll tell me like, oh, can you go grab me something? And I'm like, I really don't want to do it, but like something's wrong with your foot or something, and I'm like, bro, like, I don't want to get up right now. And like that's serving a servant too, because I'm just like in my heart I really do not want to get up.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get up because I love you and I want to serve you in that way.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think like with both of I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday when you were in the car and we were outside, like understanding that I think we both came from backgrounds where it kind of felt like to relax when you're being lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And literally sometimes I have it in my heart where I'm just chilling and like something is like telling me like you're upset with me for just sitting and chilling, and of course
that's not my heart.
No, but like it's my own mind. It's not you. It's you're not making me feel like that. Of course, if you need me to do something, you tell me, or if I need you to do something, I'll tell you. But literally, like there's times where like I'll be just like sitting and I don't know whether or not I can do something, because like I'll think you're gonna look at me a certain type of way, or like you're gonna judge me or think I'm being lazy, and that's like I hate people thinking like I'm lazy, especially you. So it's like,
and I would never think that though, because
that's
know,
my
that's
my
like
mind.
your mindset.
And you have the same thing though,
thing,
because like
we both grow up in places where it's like my grandma, for example, it's like you could be cleaning right now. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like my house needs to be spick and span, and like your parents are like, you know, and similar but in their own way, you know? Like you could be doing this. What are you doing? Yeah,
I've noticed sometimes you just like. You've gotten a lot better at it though, like just being able to chill. But like earlier on, you like always had to be doing something, and I'm like, it was low-key annoying. Like just like for me to watch, I was just like, can you like, because like also for me like it's relaxing when you're relaxing, if that makes sense. Like when you're chilling like here and like you're just on your phone, like I could be chilling in the room like on my phone, but when I see you like moving around and clean, I'm like, dude, can you just like chill out for like a second? Because I get things have to get done, but there's like the overdoing. Like, you know?
That all comes from just like how you're raised too, because it's like when I was home, if I was chilling like for too long and I heard my grandma get out of her bed, I knew it was time for me to get up and do something, because like I didn't want her to be like, you just sit here all day, like what are you doing and stuff. And
It's another thing we learned. We do not use that word here.
Shut up. We don't use the word shut up. Because it's not a nice word. It's a mean word.
We say,
be quiet.
We say upshut.
Alright. Yeah, because we say upshut. That's just not true.
Lunchtime.
Hi. Dear God, thank you for this day. Thank you for giving us a great day. Help us to draw closer to you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Sugar-free Italian dressing. Only 60 calories. This is a good alternative. This is good if you have PCOS. Sugar-free, sugar-free, sugar-free.
I just picked mango. Not now, working.
I made garlic shrimp curry. So hopefully Kari likes it. Here's how it looks.
It looks really good.
We're about to eat.
I was resting because I was tired.
Kari was taking a snap.
Now
We'll see you later.
watching.
This is the end of the vlog. We'll see you guys on Friday. Subscribe to join. You already ready? Subscribe to join the Kunarasa fam, and you can see what's happening in our lives.
And like and comment. Bye.
Dang.